Hey, I'm here with a Zepbound update. There's lots of news in the world of elililly, so I will definitely just jump right in. So it's been a minute since I did an update. I had run into a couple bumps in the road, I think, with the 2 weeks that I couldn't dose and then getting back on schedule. And then I had a vacation where I was gone for 10 days. And then having to get back into business mode. It's just been a lot. So apologies for no updates for several weeks now. So I am currently on Zepbound, which is also Mounjaro for diabetics. And the base medication for that is terzepatide. There are other medications out there, but I have not had any experience with those. So I mainly talk about that, but I'll also discuss different tips and tricks that I have used to stay the course. So when I started in the mid of April, I weighed 213.8 pounds. My weight as of this morning is 166.2, so that equals a 47.6 pound weight loss since April. So that was 25 weeks ago. So that was 25 weeks ago. I'm on dose 23 because I had to skip 2 doses due to rash and trying to figure out what was happening and if it was Zepbound caused, which we don't think it was. I started on the 2.5 milligram. I did that for 1 month. Then I switched to 5 milligram for like 6 weeks. Then I switched to 7.5 for 1 month. And then I'm at 10. I've been at 10 for several weeks. This is probably month. I'm coming up on the 3rd box of Zepbound 10 milligram. It is working. I definitely do notice the hunger and the receptors and the food noise. It just gets a little louder day 6 and shot day. I definitely feel like I'm like wanting to eat. But that's the half-life of the terzepatide or the Zepbound or the Mounjaro or whichever med you're on, GLP-1 medication. It starts to wear off. So day 7 is shot day. I do it halfway through the day so that any initial, maybe not so wanted responses will happen while I'm sleeping. So it never wakes me up, so I think that's good. I've had minimal side effects throughout this journey. My pant size is now, it went from an 18-20. I was like really creeping up there. And I'm down to a 12, and the 12 fits just right. So I would imagine next month I'll be in a 10. So again, I was on a 10-day vacation down in Orlando. I did not get in a lot of walking. Only 2 of those days I did some form of physical activity. Obviously, I did not have access to things like my sea salt, my pink salt. I did have access to protein drinks, so I did supplement where I could. I ended up gaining 3 pounds during the 10 days, but the happy news was the week I came back, I lost that plus a pound. So I think it was just fluid retention from extra sodium intake while I was away from eating processed food and snacks. I didn't like hyper monitor what I was doing, just making sure I was getting my protein in, but I was cheating, pasta, snacks here or there, but nothing crazy. Obviously, I did take my dose with me, and I did get through TSA fine. No one stopped us or questioned us, me and my husband, about the medication that was in the little case that we carried on board. They were the pen dispensers, and we did peel the label off of the boxes and put it with the med dose in case we were stopped. I also was not stopped for my wig wearing. I kind of had a feeling someone was going to ask to touch my head because I was wearing a topper that had metal clips in there, but it didn't even register. I didn't get a pat down or anything. I was super happy about that. So current news, not related to me, but in the world of elililly and the medication specifically manufactured by them. They have now successfully taken terzepatide off of the shortage list, which kind of has caused this big tsunami wave in the world of terzepatide. So Mounjaro, Zepbound, and terzepatide, all three are the same medication. It was able to be compounded through compound pharmacies and being able to be marketed through like med spa type places up until they successfully removed it from the shortage list. So the FDA is now cracking down on those 503A med spa 503A med spa kind of places. They have now told them that they can no longer provide terzepatide medication. So it's really caused like pandemonium. People are freaking out because they're receiving emails saying we can no longer provide this med for you. So 503Bs are still able to compound the medication if it's medically necessary to mix the terzepatide with like a vitamin D supplement for a shot or a B12 supplement for a shot. But again, medically necessary. So I'm not really sure how that's going to translate on the other side. Some patients will probably still be able to get it based on their medical necessity, but others are going to be SOL, which is S out of luck, and they're going to have to find other alternatives. So your options at this point, if you are getting a compounded medication and you've received an email from a company saying that they can't provide it anymore, or that it's only going to be for a certain period of time, you should initially reach out to your healthcare team and your insurance company about what your covered options will be. Definitely speaking with your medical team about what you can do to continue to have success in your weight loss and health journey during this kind of bump in the road. The other thing is to find if you meet other medical criteria with your healthcare team and your insurance. So there are semaglutide out there, which is Wegovy and Ozempic. There's also other weight loss medications that aren't part of the GLP-1, but if you haven't tried them, now would be the time to ask your team if you qualify, ask your insurance if you qualify, and try and switch over to something else. I know it's like, don't freak out, just breathe through it and try and have just a little bit of patience while you navigate the new, healthcare weight loss landscape. So the other thing I want to mention is that there is another GLP-1 medication out there. So you figure, let's go back just for a second. GLP-1 medication started with Wegovy and Ozempic. Then the next best one that worked better was terzepatide, which is the Mounjaro and the Zepbound. Well, currently in clinical trials is regaglutide, which is supposed to be even better. I haven't done a tremendous amount of research on regaglutide because my medication is working for me. Keep in mind, though, I only have 2 more steps up I can take before I'm at the maximum dose. I'm not freaking out because the medication is working for me, and I still have 2 steps to go. So I'm just trying to be really pausing before I take another step forward, because it's going to be a year and a half at least before the regaglutide is available, FDA approved for human consumption, like the current medications are. They are being consumed by humans, but you know what I mean. It's a clinical trial. So once it gets FDA approval, then it's mass marketed, but we don't know if they're going to start in the US, if they're going to start overseas. You don't know those things in advance. So there is more hope and medication on the horizon, but it takes time for that one to hit the insurance companies, be a covered service, find out what criteria needs to be met to be eligible for that class of medication. So just hang in there, hang in there. I wanted to let you guys know too, as far as my diet goes. So most of the time I am protein forward meals. I have never been a breakfast eater. Occasionally while I'm on vacation, but I try and be like a protein forward, like maybe a sausage, egg and cheese on a muffin, but I probably only, I say muffin, but I mean biscuit, English muffin, or croissant, but I typically don't eat all of the bread. So that's if I really want breakfast on the run. If I eat breakfast at home, it's just egg and sausage with cheese or egg and bacon with cheese, some pink salt, a little pepper, and I'm good. Lunchtime, if I'm eating, it's typically a protein forward, like a ground meat of some kind. So last week I did ground turkey with I did like 1 pound of ground turkey with a large can of cannellini, or the small white beans. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I strained half of the beans so that some of the thicker fluid that's in there went into the bean. I added a small amount of cabbage, so maybe a fifth of a head of cabbage diced up, and I added some sauteed mushrooms to that. That's what I had for one of my meals. The other was similar, but it was a meatloaf mix, so it has, I think, beef, so ground beef, ground pork, and ground veal maybe together. That was 1.25 pounds. I did the same straining technique, half straining of small black bean, strained half of the fluid, dumped the rest in. Did the same thing as far as the cabbage went, and the mushroom, but then I added to that spiced, canned, diced, like Italian seasoned diced tomato. And then I added a little bit of better than bouillon beef, like a tablespoon of that, and then I added like maybe a cup of water just to like thin it out just a little bit. So so previous weeks where I had really good weight loss, I had some extra form of fibrous grain in the form of either chia pudding for the chia seeds, or for the quinoa, where I would cook it in whatever broth residual I had from cooking the meat, and I would cook that really well and add it in as an extra fiber. So I definitely did notice greater weight loss success when I added those little extra things. So when I do the chia pudding, I usually add diced up strawberry, some blueberry, and some nuts. So pecan, almond, and or walnut. I'll just mix it all in. A little bit of vanilla in there. Sometimes I will add like a hemp protein, which is like a powdered protein, to give it a little extra protein. So I don't know if I'm just losing a little bit of the fiber benefit and a little bit more of a protein benefit. But I did want to mention that I did notice definitely a slowing of weight loss during the 10 days I was away, that I didn't watch what I was eating. I didn't have access to the small amounts of those items that I would need without purchasing them at the like super Walmart or, a Whole Foods or something. And I was just trying to keep it super simple. Also, on the meals that I don't feel hungry, so if I eat a meal at lunch, I typically do a shake at dinner if I'm not hungry, or vice versa. If I'm not hungry at lunch, I do a shake and then I eat a dinner. So it's always making sure that I hit my 60 gram minimum. That's the absolute minimum for females, should be 60 grams of protein. My medical team for me specifically says 80 to 100 grams. If I get 70 in, I'm happy. I formerly had bariatric surgery, so my stomach is super tiny. It's really hard to get the amount of protein density in my body to meet that without supplements. It is just what it is. My medical team is aware. I supplement vitamins and minerals in other ways. So please, please, please make sure you speak with your medical team about what your medical needs are, what your minimum criteria is. I just know from the previous program with bariatrics that 60 grams for females is the absolute minimum. And for men, it was like 80 or 90 was the absolute minimum. And that's just to keep the muscle or slow muscle loss that you already have. So please keep that in mind. You need 64 ounces of water daily as an absolute minimum to sustain life. You should be shooting for higher numbers. Just remember to add your electrolytes in there. You don't want to flush all your sodium and potassium. I add extra healthy sodiums like sea salt and pink salt to my water bottle. I use a Circle water flavor container that kind of masks the flavor of the salt and gives me a little extra, covers the whatever minerally flavor might be in your tap water. I use the filtered water from the refrigerator. I ice it up and I drink 3 of the 22-ounce bottles a day, minimum. Again, I add potassium tablets at night. I take extra magnesium and I add the sodium to my water. If I'm feeling dehydrated, another product that I've been using since that, there was a 10-day period also that I was sick, like 8 days solidly. I could not eat. I was dehydrated. I had, migraine headaches. I couldn't keep anything in. Liquid IV is the name of this thing. It's not an actual IV. It's a product that you can purchase on the market where it's got a tremendous amount of potassium and sodium in it. To kind of help your body hold on to fluid. So it was really hard to get that in when everything was coming up, but I managed to do it and that has helped me tremendously. So I try and add that actually every 2 or 3 days now. I was able to figure out during that time which flavors I can tolerate and which I can't. I add half of one of those to a 16 fluid ounce bottle of water and I'll drink 2 or 3 of those. And I mean like a third of it, the package per 16 ounce and then a third and then a third within a day or 2. And I found that definitely helps to keep my body hydrated. Hydration is very important when you're on a weight loss journey. Your body is mostly comprised of water. You need water first. So you got to hit your water goal, then you got to hit your protein goal, and then all the rest comes into play. So just again, please, please, please check with your medical team, your healthcare providers about what is a safe way for you. This is just what I do. This is what has worked for me. I'm just sharing the information so that you can talk to your medical team about what it is that you need. And of course, I have a funny sense of humor. And when I'm standing here, I realize that I look like Mickey Mouse talking about GLP-1 medications and weight loss because it looks like I have the ears. So that's kind of funny. I'm just set up for wig reviews and Halloween because this is October of 2024. If you do suffer from hair loss, you can also follow me in my wig group. You can request to join. I'll have all those details below in the box. I am an Amazon affiliate. It doesn't cost you more to necessarily purchase my recommendations, but they are affiliate links. So I may receive a very small bit of compensation from you clicking the link and buying it that way. I just search these on Amazon. I try and find the best deals for the day. And then I pull that link and drop it in the description box. So this is just need to tell you that that's what it is. So if you're on a weight loss journey, I am wishing you continued success in that area. Again, just with your healthcare providers, do it in a very healthy way. Don't make any not so good decisions about disordered eating or anything like that. And if you are having issues with those, please seek a counselor that specializes in eating disorders. I feel it's important to mention that because when you're on a weight loss journey and your brain is trying to catch up to where you are, you don't really see how much you're losing, or sometimes you can have an unhealthy focus on food. So please take care of you. I know that this can trigger eating disorders in people. So just be very mindful and doing this in a very healthy way if you are in a weight loss journey. So again, I wish you tremendous success moving forward. You know that my thoughts and prayers are always with you guys on every area of life. I want you to be healthy and well. This video has gone on long enough, so I should stop talking, but I hope that you all will reach out to me if you have any questions. Although I'm not a medical professional, I've done tremendous amounts of research about different ways of eating, like keto and carnivore and low carb lifestyle. I haven't really delved into the Mediterranean, but I kind of feel like I'm kind of mixing a few of the ways of eating into my lifestyle that work for me. But I could kind of help you guys navigate if you were looking just for some simple advice on where to look for researching for your own self. So please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. It's Beth Pigeon, and I also own Beth's Wig Boutique and Outreach. You can reach out to me there or join that group if you're suffering from hair loss. All right, guys, that's it. I'm out. But I will talk to you all soon. I appreciate you watching and supporting everything I'm doing. And I love you all. I'll talk to you later. Okay, guys. Have a good day. Bye now.